At first, there was a company called Tesla, and their shareholders thought it was all to be. But then came an emperor by the name of William Lee. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. I found an article on the Telegraph. It was written by Ben Wright, and it put into perspective all of what I've been saying and even more that I think you guys will find very interesting to save yourself. Electric cars could sink Tesla, not even Elon can stop it, is the headline. Musk needs his latest Chinese gambit and the Chinese government to pay off if his company is to have any future. There is a long-running debate about whether Tesla is a car or a technology company. For a while, this was largely an academic question related to future potential and therefore valuation. But now Elon Musk's baby has reached a crunch point and the search for an answer has become existential. There are no prizes for guessing, he says. Which side Musk comes down on? If you value Tesla just as an auto company, you fundamentally have the wrong framework. He said last week, if someone doesn't believe Tesla is going to solve autonomy, they should not be an investor in the company. Let me say that again. If someone doesn't believe Tesla is going to solve autonomy, they should not be an investor in the company. But why is the author saying that? You see, his cars are dead. They're done. We're going to kill the Model Y. NIO is going to kill the Model Y. Xiaomi and the rest have killed the Model 3. We all know that. That's not even debatable. They do not have a winning business model because as opposed to NIO, we're making our own phones, we're making in-house chips, we're making our own motors, we're making some in-house batteries for the sub-brands, and so much more. Battery swapping is going to be in every country, in every gas station in the world. So what does Elon Musk have left? Autonomous driving. But I showed a video where autonomous driving is way ahead in China compared to him with Pony AI, which has teamed up with Toyota and NIO Capital. We've seen what his autonomous driving has done thus far. Killed many people and maimed many others. So the question is, if someone doesn't believe Tesla is going to solve autonomy, they should not be an investor in the company. This proves that they should not be an investor. Up until recently, most investors have appeared to agree with him. Up until recently. When Tesla's share price peaked in 2021, it was briefly trading on multiples that suggested it would eventually be churning out more cars than Toyota. This was the suggestion. And earning higher profit margins than Ferrari. That was clearly nonsensical for a company that just made cars. Reality has started to bite, and it hurts. Before Monday's bounce based on the news that Tesla had struck a data sharing agreement with Chinese firm Baidu, which they will have to pay money for. Tesla's share price had fallen 59% from its 2021 high and 42% this year alone. Last week, Tesla revealed pretty dire first quarter results, including its first year-over-year quarterly sales decline in nearly 4 years, and this trend will continue. What's changed? In a word, what has changed? The author says competition. I say no. I say what has changed is an emperor came on the scene, an emperor by the name of William Lee. For much of its history, Tesla was the only decent electric car maker in the world, and that is true. Now, because remember, Ford was making a little electric car, GM, other companies, but they weren't really an EV. They were nonsense. They were like toy cars compared to Tesla. Now, traditional manufacturers had significantly upped their game, especially NIO, in producing hybrids as Li Auto and even BYD. An even bigger threat has emerged in the form of Chinese brands, whose battery technology and manufacturing techniques enable them to churn out seriously good cars at knockdown prices. This presents Musk with an enormous dilemma. Should Tesla invest billions of dollars overhauling its own factories so that they can go toe-to-toe with the Chinese upstarts on price? Or should it double down on its driverless technology and once again become the only rival player in a new market, which they wouldn't? You see, this is what I've explained. Even if they come out with autonomous, they would not be the only one in that area. So people are thinking there is huge market share, addressable market share. Yes, there is. But again, just like the competition has come and decimated him with his cheap dog poop, cat poop, rat poop, and bat poop guano cars, the same thing will happen with the driverless technology. We've seen where NIO is way ahead in that field with their NOP Plus on Navigate on Pilot Plus that has just been rolled out. That makes Tesla driverless technology look like dog poop, rat poop, cat poop, and bat poop. If that decision wasn't already hard enough, there's an added complication. It's not an either-or situation. Tesla needs to sell an awful lot of cars in order to generate the money it needs to pay for the huge numbers of expensive chips necessary to develop the full self-driving technology that it's working on. Last week, results revealed the company suffered its first cash outflow. Its first cash outflow since the start of the pandemic. To make matters worse, the anemometer has swung around and the tailwinds at Tesla's back have become headwinds. Enthusiasm for EVs appears to be waning as doubts grow about government building the necessary infrastructure in America. Yes, even if they built out the charging stations like Elon just decided to stop doing because it's not going to help the grid. Higher interest rates in the US are making car finance more expensive, and Musk's penchant for picking political fights is alienating some prospective buyers. And to add to this, the Feds just said they have no end in sight for lowering interest rates anytime soon in America because the Biden administration keeps sending billions and billions, over $75 billion again for war. How can you curb inflation and lower interest rates when you keep printing money? It does not work like that. This is not how economics work. The entrepreneur has also been far from clear about how he plans to steer Tesla from plan A to plan B. Towards the end of last year, he announced plans to overhaul factories in Mexico and Texas so they could produce a new lower cost Model 2. You see, he has given no clear plans, and he has none. But and a lot of his engineers and management is now leaving, they're quitting. But rumors have started to circulate in recent weeks that the entrepreneur can cool on this idea and is instead planning to budget a version of Model 3 built on an existing production lines while throwing the bulk of Tesla resources in developing a self-driving robotaxi. But will that Model 2 help him? It's not battery swappable. It will be even more inferior to the Model 3. Use your common sense and critical thinking, man. It will not help him. Xiaomi is killing the Model 3 because it's cheaper with superior technology. So even if in America, he'll probably sell those Model 2. He might sell about 50 a week. When asked about this strategic switcheroo last week, Musk grew characteristically catchy and evasive. Are you surprised? This is the backdrop to a surprise trip to China on Monday, during while Musk met with the country's political number 2 premier Li Qiang and unveiled a tie-up with the search giant Baidu to develop mapping and navigation technology. But he will have to pay for this technology on every car. Such deals are driven by regulatory necessity. Nevertheless, there are big question marks over the tactical and strategic rationale for such tie-ups. For starters, will they work? International car makers struggle to compete with the likes of BYD on price. They are therefore hoping to gain a share of the most important electric car market in the world by packing their cars full of superior gizmos. But given their cars can be somewhere between 3 to 5 times more expensive than BYD's cheapest model, the tech will have to be incredibly impressive. Among the gadgetry displayed at the Beijing Auto Show last week was seamless connectivity with smartphones like NIO, assisted driving systems. Remember when they were laughing about our phones, right? And in-car entertainment functions. These all sound like added extras rather than game changers. But entertainment functions, car entertainment functions. We have Nomi. You can ask Nomi to do many things. The kids love them in China. Then there's the fact that so many car companies are entering into these partnerships. Volkswagen has a long track record of striking deals with Chinese technology companies. Last week, Toyota unveiled a new partnership with WeChat owner Tencent. Nissan is like Tesla's teaming up with Baidu. You see? So in America, while they are telling the American automakers you should not work together and help each other, with that demonic, wicked mindset, they will continue to decline, along with Tesla, in a massive way. Given all this, isn't there a danger that Musk outfit, which currently has roughly 7% of the Chinese EV market, risk being swamped by the general influx? And how savvy is it for a company that bills itself as a tech company rather than a car company to team up with a tech company to help build some of the tech for its cars? The man is saying he's a tech company, but he had to beg Baidu. He had to go on his all fours in a position that is not befitting a man. Lastly, there's the question of whether Toyota's partners might become tomorrow's competitors. There's a long history of foreign companies forming partnerships or joint ventures with domestic firms in order to gain access to the vast Chinese market, only to be unceremoniously ditched after a few years. One thing's for sure, Musk needs his latest China's gambit to pay off. If not, Tesla's growing list of problems as a mental bashing car maker today may destroy its chances of building a driverless tomorrow. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now you understand why I say NIO will dominate the landscape. You see, I said it before, you don't have to have a college degree. You just have to have critical thinking skills and common sense, my dear lads. So my NIO lions and lionesses, I hope you guys found this article to be informative, informational, inspirational, and motivational to help guide you as to where you should go. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we have that warrior mindset. Like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.